Friends, I would like to inform you that the number of cases, active cases in our state has breached the 2000 number. We are looking at Shillong having a positivity rate of 17%. East Khasi Hills has a positivity rate of 12%. In Shillong, the total number of occupancy in terms of the bed capacity has reached 60%. So therefore, we are looking at a very serious situation, and therefore a number of other steps will be taken to contain the situation. The cases are also rising in other districts, and we are monitoring the situation very, very carefully. Though the containment and the restrictions that we had brought in to Shillong and to East Khasi Hills district has somewhat brought down the movement of people, has somehow slowed down the overall process of transmission, has led to lesser gathering of people. But looking at the alarming rate at which the numbers are growing, we need to go for stricter measures in some locations where the numbers are rising. In the meeting that was held today at 12 o'clock, the government has decided that there will be a complete lockdown of East Khasi Hills district from 8 p.m. of 5th of May, that is tonight, till 5 a.m. of the 10th of May 2021, which means that the containment period that is left for the next 5 days is being converted into a lockdown mode. So therefore, more restrictions are coming in. We have also decided that there will be a weekend lockdown in other districts of the state also. The exams that were scheduled on the 6th and 7th of May 2021 in the state is being postponed to 11th and 12th of May 2021. I repeat, the exams that were scheduled for the 6th and the 7th of May 2021 in the state is postponed to 11th and 12th of May 2021, and the Education Department will issue detailed notification to that perspective to the concerned students also. Vehicular movements will be restricted. Interstate movement of persons in all parts of the state will also be restricted. Inter-district movement of persons from and to East Khasi Hills will be restricted. All major markets in East Khasi Hills, including Shillong, will be closed during this period, but essential goods will be made available through shops in the localities. Home delivery services will be permitted. Movement of agriculture produce and inputs in East Khasi Hills will be regulated by the DC of East Khasi Hills. Weddings that have already been permitted may be held, but it will be restricted to only the family members, and the numbers shall not exceed 20 people. Funeral gatherings will also be restricted to 20 persons, but prior permission will have to be taken from concerned officials like the BDO or the Deputy Commissioner through the involvement of the local headmen. During this 5-day lockdown period in East Khasi Hills, health services will be exempted, including the vaccination program. So therefore, I urge everybody who is supposed to go for the vaccination, please go for the vaccination. And during this lockdown period, the vaccination drive will be exempted. All essential services like electricity, water supply, security, etc. will also be exempted. Movement of essential goods will also be exempted. Print and electronic media will also be exempted. Friends, just to bring the overall strategy into perspective, we are following a three-pronged strategy. First is containment. Second is vaccination. And the third is healthcare. When it comes to containment, it is the best strategy that we can adopt. And it is the only way to ensure that things don't get out of control. But the challenge is to ensure that livelihood is not affected in an adverse manner, and yet the health concerns are balanced. And that is the reason why we have been going for containment strategy. But seeing the numbers that are rising, there needs to be more stricter provisions in certain parts, and that is why the containment has been is going to be converted into a lockdown for the next 5 days, especially in East Khasi Hills. The vaccination program is going well for the 45 plus, but still there are a large number of citizens who are 45 plus who have not got vaccinated yet, and because of that the overall numbers have not reached to a satisfactory level. I would urge everybody who's above the age of 45 to immediately go and get their vaccinations in the closest center to your place. And in terms of the vaccination availability, we have enough vaccines for the population group of 45 and above. For the vaccination of the 18 to 45 category, as has been mentioned earlier, we are to receive 42,000 doses from the Serum Institute, and as and when we receive this 45,000 doses for the month of May, most probably, we will schedule the appointments and ensure that the vaccines are distributed to areas which need it the most at this point in time. So it will not be enough for everyone, but we hope that the process will start, and we expect that in the coming weeks and the coming months that we will be getting sufficient supply. But as you're aware that there is a shortage of vaccination throughout the country, and even globally there is a big challenge, but we do expect that situation to improve in coming weeks and the months. And the third aspect of our strategy is the healthcare, and as you're aware, we have taken large number of steps to overall increase the oxygen supply in our state. We have also taken a number of steps to increase the number of beds through which we can provide service, healthcare to our citizens, especially to the people who would need it. But we have to remember that no matter how many beds we expand, if the number goes out of control and if we are not able to contain the situation, no matter how many beds we get, it will not be enough. So therefore, the strategy has to be three-pronged, where we contain, we increase the healthcare facilities, and we go for large-scale vaccination. It is only by doing all the three that we will be able to keep things under control. At this point, I would also like to urge the citizens of our state that we need to work together. The government has got its responsibilities to do, but this is a fight where the people of the state have to come together and fight this virus. We need to be disciplined. We need to follow protocols. we need to avoid going out if we don't need to. And at least for the next few days, we have to make a pledge to ourselves that we will fight this virus together. And we will ensure that we will not allow this virus to spread. And therefore, it is the responsibility of every citizen of the state to come together, to pledge, and to ensure that we defeat this virus together. We need to remember that we need to wear masks. We need to follow protocols. We need to avoid large gatherings. And this is the only way that in the long term, we will be able to defeat this virus. So therefore, friends, the next few days will be crucial. The reason why we have to go for some strict measures is because we feel that taking the decision at a later stage would only be making the situation worse. So right now we have reached 2,000 active cases. And if you recall, I had mentioned many days back to you that as we come closer to the 5,000 active case number, it will start putting a huge amount of stress on our healthcare. So therefore, we are today at 2,000. And so we don't want to take a chance of coming anywhere close to the 5,000 figure. And that's the reason why today at 2,000 we are taking this step. We have taken the step for the containment when we had touched 1,000. And today we're going for a complete lockdown here in East Khasi Hills, because we have breached almost close to 1,200 in East Khasi Hills. And out of this 1,200, about 800 to 900 are in Shillong itself. So therefore these measures are required. I know that this will cause inconvenience to the people, but I request our citizens to please cooperate with us and ensure that these next 5 days we work very carefully to ensure that this virus does not spread any further. Essentials commodity shops in certain areas will be allowed, locality, but in large marketplaces there will be some restrictions. But we are ensuring that the locality essential goods will be open. The details of all the essential goods and the areas, the Deputy Commissioner will be coming out with more details. Yeah, so therefore these activities, as I said, we will be giving out the details from the Deputy Commissioner's office of what are the essentials allowed and not allowed. So as I said, as of now, the healthcare services, the essential services, movement of essential goods, these will be allowed, and further details regarding the farming activities and all these, on what basis they will be allowed, with what protocols will come out. So these will be given in detail from the Deputy Commissioner's office. No, as of now we have not looked at that. The point here being that we are hopeful that this containment strategy should yield results, we expect. But we have been very clearly discussing. I don't want to get into technical terms, but I don't have the graph with me right now. But the point is that we want the recoveries are now going up. At the same time, we are also seeing the positive cases, coming up here. We are hopeful that the positive, active, new cases will start coming down, and we'll have more recoveries than active cases. Now, in order to do that, the containment is helping, and I'm sure we'll see more results in the coming days. But that particular active case graph has to come down even more sharply. So that's the reason why, say suppose we see that it's going down by 5%, by this lockdown we may be able to enhance it to 10, 15, 20, 30%. And that is when we will see the overall recoveries becoming more than the new active cases. And that is a kind of signal and the point that we are targeting towards. So in the next 2 to 3 days, we will monitor the situation. In general, people were ready for a containment zone in Shillong area. So therefore, more or less, we will see that it should not cause so much of inconvenience. But the messaging to the people is very important, that even now, I'll just give an example to you, which has also led to this kind of a decision, is that even in this containment time, we have almost close to 12,000 applications for permits. You see, so people want to go out, people want to move around, and that's not a very positive indication. When we are trying to contain the situation, we expect that we will get cooperation from the citizens also. And therefore today, when 12,000 people are applying for permits to move around, it is reflecting that there is a sense of slight taking it easy kind of a sense is there. So we want to send a message that all of us have to be serious. and that's why this lockdown message is being sent. And we're hopeful that we'll be able to see some positive results with this, with the graph of the of the new cases will come down below the overall recovery cases. So regarding the economic benefits, there's no decision on that has been taken yet.
So after 10th of May, if the situation does not improve, then will the government continue with the lockdown?
We'll take a call on Saturday. We are meeting at 12 o'clock to review the situation. In this next 2 days, which is going to be there, our ministers have been asked to go to different districts to review the situation in the districts, as well as to take a stock of the infrastructure and materials that are available. So I will be going tomorrow early morning to Tura to review the situation there, and I'll be back day after tomorrow. Our Honorable Deputy CM will be going to Nongstoin, and he'll cover 1 or 2 more districts in Khasi Hills and Reboy area. And our Home Minister will be going towards Jente Hills to take the review. So once we come back together on the 12th, when we have the meeting in the afternoon, we will take a call based on the trend that we see in the state. But I think the issue here is that we all need to come together, and we need the best minds and a good team to work on this. Apart from what you have mentioned, which I'm not very, I don't have information about, but a lot of other people have been engaged on a temporary basis to combat this entire situation, whether it's from the security point of view, from the frontline workers point of view, from the volunteers point of view, even healthcare people. A lot of people have been engaged because the manpower required in an exercise like this is massive. I'm sure that there could be people who have been asked to come on board to give their consultancy, because this requires a lot of data analysis, a lot of predictions have to be made. So I'm not very sure which areas are there, but whatever it takes to fight the situation, we will do, because we cannot take any chance in this situation. So therefore, even if you look at the situation that we're facing today, if you look at the numbers, one could say that why are we going for this kind of a measure? But then the numbers that are approaching towards the threshold of that 5,000 and the next is 10,000, we don't want to be taking a decision at that point in time. So that's the reason we're taking. So my point being that we will do whatever it takes. So regarding the different consultants, I really don't know the details, but at this point in time, we need a lot of people to help us to ensure that the right decisions are made at the right time. The construction of the COVID hospital was finalized for the place in ISBT. Later on, because of the distance and overall the area not being I guess within the reach of Tura town, so there was a change in location, and there was a decision that we will bring the place closer, and therefore the decision was changed. Then we realized that the numbers were going down at one point in time. When the numbers started going down, we decided that after investing 7 crores, if we're not able to see a legacy usage of the place, then the numbers or the amount that is going to be spent may not be able to kind of get the returns back in one way. So therefore we decided that we will put up a COVID hospital, which could later on be converted into some other kind of infrastructure, maybe office space or a different kind of activity. So keeping that in mind, we brought the place closer. When this COVID cases started going up, we realized that we need to in fact move on this and break up the project. So now the decision has been made that we are going for a prefab structure, which will come down to less than half the cost that would have been incurred, that we will be able to save some of the funds also. And so now in the ISBT location, where initially we had decided, we have decided to go ahead with that location, and a prefab structure will come up. Hopefully it should not take more than maybe 60 days to bring it up.
And what about Shillong?
Shillong, there are different locations that are there. We have taken the Umsauli in tuberculosis, the TB hospital in Umsauli has been taken up. We have also spoken to IIM, and about 200 rooms there also in the old campus will be is being prepared as we speak. Apart from that, many other corona care centers that were there, those also have been planned to be brought up into a not, I shouldn't say downgraded, but may not be a hospital with full facilities, but at least having the beds and the oxygen supply to take care of patients in case the numbers go up. So these are the measures that are being taken. So Shillong will have, in terms of the building capacity, there will be more options. We'll be able to expand in a faster way. But in Tura, we will need to construct spaces to come up with more health facilities for the people.